Penny Power here. Very excited to be introducing you to Francis Rodino. I'm going to introduce you in more detail in a minute. At the moment, you might not be really completely aware of who Francis is or why you are coming to this podcast, this BIP podcast. So BIP stands for Business is Personal. I'm Penny Power, co-founder of BIP 100. And BIP 100 exists for two reasons. One, to create a beautiful community for our 100 business experts. And secondly, to help you find great experts to help you in your business. And I think we spend a lot of our time looking for customers in life, looking for partners, but actually to find the right supplier is so critical. It can make the difference between your business growing or failing. And I don't think we all necessarily realize how important that is and how hard it is. And so we bring you through this podcast unapologetically our strong belief that this person is a great person who could help you with your business. And so Francis Rodino, he is the best-selling author of The Lead Machine. He has a legacy in digital marketing, award-winning, and you could call him a digital marketeer. But he also has a really interesting, from his experience, take on how you are going to grow your revenue. And we're going to be talking about that today and talking about how Francis works and letting you get to know him well. So let's dive in. Francis, first of all, let's get people to know a little bit more about you. Tell us about you.
Thank you, Penny. Thanks for the warm welcome. And it's great to be a member of BIP 100. Fantastic bunch of people, community, experts, business owners, but really great energy. And I'm really enjoying it so far, networking and building connections. So great to be a part of the community. I am a Londoner these days, and I've been in the UK for a couple of decades now, but I was originally born in New York and then spent some time growing up in Italy. So my accent is a little bit mixed, but for all intents and purposes, I'm a Brit now, a naturalized Brit, and my agency, Lead Hero, is a UK agency. We work with a lot of companies in the UK and beyond, but primarily we have a good client base in the UK. And primarily we help established, successful businesses, what I like to call is squeezing the juice out of their marketing initiative. So they're already getting leads, they're already established, they have a sales team, they're probably, starting around seven figures and looking to scale up to three, five, 10, and beyond. And at that point, more often than not, it's not just a marketing or a lead generation problem that businesses have because they are very well established and they tend to have organic inbound and clients and referrals. But it really is about cleaning up and organizing their lead management and essentially maximizing the efforts of their lead generation. So when you're investing into ads or events or sponsorships, you have leads coming from all kinds of different places. A lot of those leads end up, say, not buying immediately or not closing. There's a sales process, there's nurture, there's education. There's a task at hand through putting in place a robust, what we like to call a customer journey. And that is the whole narrative of how someone finds out about your business, then decides to work with you because they deem that you are the most desirable choice and the right choice for them, and taking through that buying process. And so what we do is we help businesses with a lot of leads and inquiries do that at scale with automation and AI and some of the new clever tech that we have today in the world to enable those businesses to be faster than their competition, more efficient, and save on costs of
Yeah.
human workforce.
Yeah, and I love it. And obviously, if you're listening to this, you know that I've learned a bit more about Francis than than you know at this point. But what I love is, there's so much analytics behind it as well. When you throw, I know there's SaaS tech companies, so many companies that are hiring salespeople and then throwing leads at them. And then they're really relying on that. They're almost too soon. They're relying on that person's capability to get through and qualify and do all of this. So I absolutely love this. Now, you shared with me some amazing statistics. So let's just clarify this problem, this system problem that you've really identified and you're solving. Is
Okay.
that leads are coming in, like you said, from various sources, and they're
Yes,
coming
and
into a
and
big bucket.
we're talking about established businesses in high volume industries. So this is not necessarily for solopreneurs or small businesses that have very, B2B longer sales cycles. This is
Yeah.
for higher volume businesses, could be SaaS and B2C, could be trades, construction, local businesses that need to process lots of leads coming in. And we find the stats are that 85% of unanswered calls never call back. So you can imagine, say, you're looking for a provider, say you're a printing company or a dentist or a plumbing business, and you're Googling online or you see an ad, and then you call that number. If they don't answer the phone immediately, chances are you're never going to call them again, right? And as a
Absolutely.
consumer, you're just going to go to the next business that you find. And so it's surprising how often this takes place, even in today's tech-fueled,
Oh, absolutely.
cutting-edge age.
We have no patience. I mean, just yesterday, weird, but I needed to find a furniture assembler that would come and do some stuff for us. And I just reached out a bit through Google. And without doubt, the person who got the business was not going to be the cheapest, but they're the person that responded quickly and took this pain away from me straight away.
There you go. And
There you go.
there's two things that businesses need to be very conscious of in this day and age, right? One is, well, the overarching theme is speed because people want things right now, faster than ever. They want answers right now. They want to buy right now. They don't want to sit around waiting in the lurch for a quote. But speed to lead, right? So the time it takes for a business to actually access and engage with that lead is really important. Like there's stats that say that companies that respond to leads within 5 minutes are 21 times more likely to close that sale. 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, your chances of closing a sale go down very much.
I love that because I'm going to just carry this journey on. I went on last night. I closed a deal with a guy very fast, £53 an hour. 10 minutes later, somebody came in at £20 an hour, and I said, "You're too late."
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't about price,
Yeah.
even, which is
No,
really interesting, isn't it?
and it shows also professionalism, customer service, speed,
Yeah.
efficiency. It builds trust, right? When you make an inquiry and they get back to you, it's actually impressive, right? Because not many companies do that.
No,
So the
efficiency
ones
is
that
so
do
important.
really stand out online. So it is also a brand and positioning thing,
Yeah,
right?
totally. Love it.
And 80% of sales need five or more follow-ups as well. So it's not just with accessing the lead or the prospect, but it's following up. People are busy, they might not pick up the phone, and normally you'd need a human being to keep hammering the phone day in and day out, following up on people. 78% of consumers do business with the first company that calls them.
Yeah,
Those are
well, there you
stats.
are.
You can Google all of these stats
I
and
love
see
that. Say that number
uh,
again, 78%.
78% of consumers do business with the first business that has just called
Well,
them
that's
back
exactly what I've just done.
or
Yeah.
answered the phone. So that's all real. And the thing is that in certain industries, they are notorious for actually bad practice or poor phone performance. like the trades, like plumbing businesses. How many times do you need a plumber and you're kind of left in the lurch? You don't know if they're going to call you back. They're on the tools. They say they'll call you back, then they don't, and you end up chasing them. And now we have just so much choice out there, right? So this ability to communicate and engage with consumers is really part of not just speed to lead, but the second speed item was speed to value. So it's also how quickly can you deliver the promise to people, the product, the service, the experience. That also is a competitive advantage this day. So speed, period, is a competitive
Brilliant.
advantage. So we build those systems to solve those problems. We help businesses make sense of their messy CRM with unused leads and prospects where they don't know who's who and what the opportunities are. Typically, businesses are sitting on a gold mine. And if they could just have good CRM and lead management practice, they would be regularly uncovering many, many tens of thousands of
Yeah.
extra sales every month if they just put systems like
Yeah.
these in place.
Oh
So
my
what it,
God.
what we do is actually not a cost. It actually it increases profit and ROI many times over. One of our clients said they easily get a 10 times
Yeah.
profitability through the systems that we use.
I can believe it. And I know we don't necessarily go into the great detail, but it was lovely that this service has three levels and they're very attainable, but also all the way through, financially attainable for them, but all the way through to the me being able to hire you as an interim CMO to actually do some of the strategy and executing. Because some people will be listening to this and think, well, we haven't even got the person in board the company to be able to do this.
That's right. And there is a scale depending on your stage of growth. So we have three plans. One is just putting in place the engine. That's the revenue leak audit, the system set up with instant lead response, missed call recovery, appointment conversion, five-star reviews.
Yeah,
So you can automatically collect reviews and comment on reviews, and you don't need a person to do that. It will actually increase your authority on Google and on AI search engines. And for businesses that need a bit more hand holding, and we put in place an AI receptionist and a
mm,
dedicated growth manager. So all of this is done for you. This is done for you, and we design it for you, we build it for you, and we manage it. That means you don't have to get distracted with how things work and fixing the tech and changing things when you need to. So this is really for businesses that don't want to faff around with doing it themselves, but they just want to cut costs, make more money, have a team that designs, builds, and manages all of this so they just know it's working and they
lovely.
can focus on making money and they can focus on growing the business. And the third tier is actually where me and my partner, Carolina, we're a family business. We are a strategic team and we work as fractional CMOs. So we help businesses ongoing to leverage the platform, make the most of their advertising spend, and plan quarterly growth sessions as well so that they have marketing and growth strategy which is joined and not um, not disconnected or disjointed, which is
Yeah.
where we see many businesses.
And
Um,
so you have this sort of monthly, you just have this set up and then there's this monthly fee and it's all, and then they can just start seeing their return all the time, the return on the investment on that. Let me ask you a bit about automation AI, because I love the two things side by side. And really before AI, automation was pretty cold in a way. It was a great back office function, but you've now got the AI. Does that help you to really personalize and create the right tone for the company?
yeah, absolutely. The thing is that AI is just a tool, just like automation was,
Yeah.
and just like websites were, and
Yeah.
every generation has a new toy, so to
Yeah.
speak. And I would just say that AI is just a smarter version of automation.
Yeah.
So where before we had automatic messages that would
Mm.
go out, they could be very personalized
Yeah.
as well, depending on the data that you have and what you know about people in your CRM. You could have very personalized experiences just with automation and timed workflows, like sending
Beautiful.
the message at the right time, at the right place with gaps on
Yeah.
different platform. Now with AI, we can do so much more. Essentially, AI is almost like having a an agent in your
Yeah.
workforce that
Yeah.
will potentially replace or enhance your team. So the AI agents, they're smart, they know your business many times better than the
Yeah.
employees that you're onboarding.
I
They
get
don't
that.
get sick. They respond 24/7. So, say for example, you are a trades business and you're getting calls out of hours, you can have an AI voice agent have a full-blown phone conversation with the person, uh, qualify them, book them right into the diary for a Monday morning, or have a call back, and all of those notes and the
Yeah.
transcripts get sent to the right person. So they're aware of the situation and they can attend to the lead ASAP. So that, the opportunities are really next level, but they're fast becoming a standard, right? So we're creating the systems that will be the standards of not just today, but of tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely critical. And I love there's a few phrases you've used. Efficiency is one of them. I think speed, efficiency, those two things. As consumers, we are just desperate for it. We don't have time to mess around. And but the legacy of your experience. So tell us a little bit about yourself that led you up to this point now, because it's not like 2 months ago you decided to come into this. You've got a strong legacy and some amazing clients, clearly
Hmm.
large clients as well. So just give
We
us,
have large and small clients.
yeah,
We're a family business, so we're a boutique consultancy without a plan to expand into many tens and tens of of people. We want to keep it lean, mean, and use AI to the best of our ability to get
yeah,
things done.
yeah,
I come from the corporate background. BBC, Omnicom Media Group. I worked for big global agencies on famous worldwide campaigns like Disney, PlayStation, Top Gear for many years, their social media activity, monetizing BBC brands across the world on digital platforms. Ultimately, after my corporate stint, I wanted to set up my own business so I could have more control over my future and my family's future, and also make a bigger impact with the clients we work with, work directly with small and medium businesses. So bring some of this big tech marketing strategies, this thinking, to smaller businesses that might not know what they're missing when
yeah,
it comes to business growth. So it's been fun. We've been running Lead Hero, me and my wife Carolina, since 2018 now. And along the way, we've met fantastic people, forged amazing relationships with our clients. Some are still small businesses, which we onboarded 7 years ago. They're still with the system that we put in place. Obviously, we upgrade them. This is something else that we do. Essentially, for we're not for businesses that want to get involved in the tech and go it alone, right? That's fine. If you're a tech savvy business owner and you want to get your hands dirty and explore tools, that's not what we're about. We want to make sure that we can free up the time of your team, the business owner, your sales team, so that you don't have to get your hands dirty, troubleshoot tech, and more importantly, stay up to date and abreast of the ever-changing tech,
Yeah.
AI, automation landscape. That's our job to upgrade you and make
Mm.
sure that your system does one thing really, really well, and that is produce cash in the bank
Yeah,
consistently.
lovely. And having been through this amazing journey with technology and with the companies that you've served, what are your sort of thoughts on the industry at the moment? Francis, I know this will annoy you when I tell you this. You're not looking at us when you're talking. I don't know whether you're looking at a different screen. I
Oh,
don't mind.
it's because I just have a I have
I
a
know.
my
I've got a
camera
beautiful
is
profile of
yeah,
you.
my camera is here and my screen, but you are here, so I have a
I
screen
know.
on either
I
side.
know. Well, so I
So
just to get, I mean, most people are going to, there you are. Most people are going to be listening to you, not listen, but on the YouTube, they will see you. So I know when you look back, you'll go, damn, wish Penny had told me that. Yeah. So yeah, what's going on at the moment? What do you have any, rants, emotions about anything? Do you feel that everything's going well in the tech world around this? I've got my own thoughts, but
well, I mean, going well in the tech world. It's an exciting time for sure. You know, every once in a while, there are radical innovations that come and just shift the way we behave and operate and interact with each other and evolve our humanity, right? Webs, websites allowed us to communicate online. Mobile allowed us to have our businesses and our communications in our pocket and on the go. Social media allowed us now to have deeper connections with other people and in real time and so forth. Automation allowed us to communicate faster than ever. And now we have AI, which is actually doing thinking for us, which is exciting and scary at the same time because we don't know where it will go.
mm,
I think we can just be hopeful, but at the same time focus on how we can leverage this to make our lives better, to grow our businesses,
yeah,
to learn more, you know. So I find it very exciting using these tools, not just the revenue growth systems we build, but
mhm,
learning about vibe coding and creating apps. Now anyone can just go create. If you can think it, you can most likely build it and create it for cheap, if not yourself, without
yeah,
having to, hire developers. So that's really exciting, but at the same time, what it does is lower the barrier to entry
yeah,
to creating
yeah.
things,
It does. I think
and we'll.
I think one of the things that when I watch, because I've been in tech since 1982, is that I feel there's a real shift towards DIY, and there's also too many generalists. So the DIY stuff is that there is a danger because your skills are not just the technology, it's the understanding behind it, right? Isn't it? And people just think they can learn the technology and then they can apply it and do it DIY. And I think that's dangerous. But also the thing is, what I love about what you do is you've taken a thin slice of this whole marketing gambit and said, this is where I specialize. And it is so powerful. And I think the generalists now, the digital marketing generalists, the marketing generalists, they just won't have that level of detail and knowledge that you've done. And I see that's the way I've seen marketing just, and people have to choose their problem and
Mhm.
pile the money into that problem, whatever that problem is, not try and solve all across the marketing sphere. You can't be
That's
brilliant on YouTube and this and that and that. You have to choose the problem.
that's very interesting because what I'm finding in the job market is, when we're looking to hire, it's actually not that easy to find people with the skill set that is right for our business.
Yeah.
because they're still marketing managers or marketing
Yeah.
professionals in a world that is a little bit obsolete,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Where they're thinking about what I can do or what my brain can do, as opposed to leveraging the tools to do that for them. And in a sense, I think my advice to anybody in the marketing world, or if you have a job or you're a freelancer, a consultant, is you need to not be thinking about what you can do for a business, but what you can get AI to do for that business. So
Wow.
being the operator of AI to do the job that you used to do, now you can just do more of it and probably handle more clients and run more campaigns, and you're the puppet master,
Yeah.
not the puppet, where you used to be paid to be the puppet and do the thing. Now you need to actually evolve into the delegator of AI agents to do the thing. And so,
Yeah, that's a really good point. But it's like any leadership, you've got to have that specialism of skill to be able to apply it. And that's where, the stats that you gave earlier, and this whole the system problem that you've defined that exists with, so many people have just said, as long as the leads are coming in, as long as I got 500 leads coming in a month or whatever. But that system beneath it is where your specialization is, that's so powerful. So the conversion, ultimately, it's the conversion, isn't it? That
mhm.
matters, nothing else, and the speed of it. And so very, very powerful. I absolutely love it. So hope you've enjoyed this. If you've been listening to it, I'm sure you have. Think deeply about it. Have a chat with Francis. You can always reach him through Thomas or I on LinkedIn, or you can find Francis if you are listening and you can't see his name, Francis, which this is interesting for you. Always remember that the male Francis is with an I. My middle name's Francis and it's with an E because I'm a.
Hmm.
So Francis with an I. Rodino, Rodino. So you can find him on LinkedIn. But as I say, Thomas and I'd be very delighted if you wanted us to connect you. Also, remember I said about this book, which I held up, but for you, if you're just listening, Lead Machine, the 9-step system to generate consistent, predictable sales and scale your service business. It's a #1 bestseller. And it's really good. It's beautifully structured, very, very, very readable. Not necessarily suggesting we all become DIY people, but it will certainly help you to make sure you understand what systems you need to implement and then find someone like Francis to make sure you do it. So it's been a great conversation with you, Francis, and
Thank you, Penny.
really enjoyed it. And I hope if you listen to this helps you to understand, maybe define your problem, think about the systems beneath your lead generation area, and hopefully we can make a match here and help you to grow your business with Francis. So many